Senior Fellow for China Strategy at the Heritage Foundation, Michael Pillsbury, joins us now. Sir, it's good to have you on. Help us put all of it together. You have the Bidens, you have the Kerrys, China, and climate change.
Well, and the most important thing in any kind of corruption is whether there's a quid pro quo. In other words, is Secretary Kerry or President Biden actually doing something in return for the money paid to the family? One of the mysteries is why the Biden team, in the very beginning, adopted all of President Trump's rhetoric. They said, oh, yeah, we're going to be just like President Trump. We're going to be really tough on China. Now, 2 years later, there's quite a long list, at least 10 issues where things the Biden team promised on China, they haven't done.
Right.
It seems strange. They were going to issue an executive order to cut off direct investment in Chinese high-tech industries or sectors or companies that are involved with the military. Didn't do it. They were going to do an assessment of how the Chinese were complying with President Trump's trade deal. They didn't do it. They were going to have a China strategy. President Biden himself is going to make a speech or issue a China strategy. They haven't done it. Should I go on? I mean, this is really quite embarrassing for the Biden team. But what interests me is there a force or a number of people inside the Biden administration? This is what we hear. They're blocking hawks and people who want to do something about China, but they're being stopped. John Kerry's one of the names being put forward. There's 4 or 5 others. But this list of what I would call paralyzed policymaking is so long that Chairman Comer going after the subpoena to ask for John Kerry's role, it looks like he wants to get to the heart of this. Who is making policy on China? Why this paralysis is so complete? And who is doing this? And is there a quid pro quo involved? That's the core question to me.
And isn't it's astonishing how quickly power corrupts. When they feel like they're untouchable, when they feel like they can't lose elections, and they feel that way the last couple times around, when they feel like there's no accountability because they own the media, look at the behavior. And all of that money, and nobody talks about it because you have a complicit media in this country that writes off anything that we report as just fringe, threat to democracy nonsense, and you get an administration that acts this way towards our greatest adversary. Michael Pillsbury, thank you so much for taking the time.